whether it had to do with Donald Trump's tiff right now with the Iowa governor, Kim Reynolds. But one thing changed in the process. Jeff Reichman, an Iowa State Senate Republican, moved from supporting Donald Trump to supporting right now Ron DeSantis. He joins us for the time being. Senator, very good to have you. Why did you do this?
Hey, good morning, Neil. Thanks for having me. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Yes, I heard you in the intro mention it. You know, the Truth Social post went out Monday, and that was forwarded to me actually during a drive up here to Des Moines from my district for our special session. And, you know, it weighed heavily on my mind and really had 3 hours on the drive up here to think about that and kind of set things in motion.
All right, when you say set in motion, you heard what the president had said, the former president, about Kim Reynolds. He's angry at her for not showing more respect and gratitude to him, that she's playing this role of a neutral observer as the caucuses, you know, are being, you know, staged and ahead of the actual caucuses in 6 months. And he doesn't like that. And he ripped her a new one. Doesn't want to invite her to any of his events. So what did you think of that?
Well, you know, rightly so. She remains neutral. Iowa is the first in nation for the caucus, and she said from the start she's never wavered from that, and no other governor in the history has ever wavered from that, to remain neutral. And so she's justified in her actions in doing that. You know, and there was I think some scheduling conflict, some communication issues, but you know, to burn that bridge, and I've come to know Governor Reynolds over the last 3 years. My fiance Renee attends her church and has known her for the past 10 years. And we just know what a great, not only what a fantastic governor she is, but what an outstanding person she is. So that was the straw. You know, I think we've all kind of gritted our teeth and shook our heads at some of the comments we've heard from the former president. But, you know, this time when we're attacking somebody that we know ourselves, it was just, like I said, a bridge too far.
Have you heard from the former president? Did you tell him that you were going to do this?
Not reached out to him. I've never had that direct conduit. Right. I did let some representatives here in the state know my thoughts and asked, you know, them, you know, what was communicated.
What was their reaction?
I don't want to speculate on. You know, they knew and they understood, and they had reached out, and they did communicate their concern, our mutual concern, and knew how popular our governor is. She's one of the most beloved governors in the nation, and you know, she won by 20 points this time. So she's just doing great things, has great initiatives, great Republican initiatives going here. So they did communicate my thoughts, and that, you know, went from there.
Okay. You talk about 20 points, and one of the polls I've seen, Senator, in your state, that's about the margin, the lead that Donald Trump has now over the rest of the Republican field. Do you think that can stay?
Yeah, that's. I just seen the poll, and you're correct. And there's a lot of time between now and the primary, and you know, I did this to support Governor DeSantis. You know, from the comments he said, it felt like a personal attack on our governor, and so it wasn't. It was to make a statement that,
right.
Yes.
So the reason why I mentioned it, you know, she is supposed to be impartial. She has said she's impartial. A lot of people who follow what's going on in your state say she is very much leaning to Governor DeSantis. Has attended some events with him, I believe. So is Donald Trump technically right on that?
You know, I think with the president, he has a lot more constraints on what he can visit, how many times he can show up, and what he's able to do because of the Secret Service requirements. You know, we were at an event yesterday that the president did not attend. Former President Trump did not attend, but you know, had he attended, that entire room would have had to have been screened in an entirely different way. So there's some additional constraints that limits his visits to Iowa and to reach out. But you know, at the same time, they haven't had as many events. There was one that was canceled here. I think the Governor DeSantis was able to take advantage of and capitalize on by showing up. We had some bad weather that night and had
Are
to
you
cancel.
worried, Senator? I'm sorry, sir, but are you worried that Donald Trump is saying Ron DeSantis is folding fast? Ken Griffin, a big GOP mega donor, might be rethinking his backing of Ron DeSantis. Some say that his best political performance is behind him now. He's falling fast. So did you hook up with a guy who could end up being a loser?
That's not my concern. My concern was, my honor and commitment to my personal honor, and then my commitment to my governor. So I had to act when it became personal and an attack on our state and on our governor. So that was my thinking. It wasn't looking at the polls or I'm not a prognosticator. I'm not going to determine who's going to come out on top at the end of the primary. And we'll be there to support whoever does come out the other side after the Iowa primary. But we need to have a unified party. We need to have everybody polling and rowing in the same direction, I say, so we can have a strong performance in next November.
I understand. So just to be clear,
I'll be on the ballot as well. So we need to have
you just
a
read
good,
my
strong
mind.
ticket.
You just read my mind. So if Donald Trump wins the caucuses or is eventually your party's nominee, you would support him?
I will. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to support the Republican nominee.
Got it. All right, Senator, thank you very much. Very good talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, I want to move to the Peach State right now where